Hello, I'm Indra. I have the joy and privilege of leading a school with the finest set of students and teachers that walk the planet. They keep me so happy and young at heart. They fill my soul. Today's idea that I'd like to share with you began as a simple experiment last year that has served us brilliantly this year in a virtual school zone. The idea was simple. It just needed a spirit of adventure and a buzz that keeps going round and round in your head all day, perhaps all night. It began as an effort to stir the pot in middle school and raise a few magic spells. I asked the teachers, can we set aside 10 marks to test this plan? Let's try and make the textbook come alive. Let's try and push that lesson one step outside the framework. All you need is imagination, the love of your subject, and the love of children. This digital year, we've really had to push that idea, and it has held us steady through the learning teaching processes. We abruptly closed in March 2020, and June, when school began, within 10 days, the government shut down grades 1 to 5 because of huge screen time concerns. I remember thinking to myself, this can't be happening. We cannot go down on our knees. We cannot. And my teachers very strongly agreed. We cannot stop the learning for our little ones. What can we do? So we stretched that middle school experiment into primary school, where we linked learning to life. Before I share more details about this idea, a reason for this experiment, I believe that classroom memories survive a person's lifetime. School memories can be the most cherished or the most cringeworthy. And I believe that as educators, it is our job to build the happiest and the most empowering of school memories for our students. We need affirmative classrooms where children feel a sense of accomplishment, a sense of achievement. No child needs to feel a sense of fear about a wrong answer. And every child's view must count in classroom discussions. Let me share 2 memories of my school days. I was in grade 2. It was an English class. And the teacher was teasing us with the spellings of irregular verbs. So we came to this verb, die. It's funny how the memory hasn't died. And she asked us, can you spell the verb in its continuous form? Off we went, playing with the letters and the sounds. D-I-E-I-N-G? No. Dying. D-A-I-N-G? No. There was a cacophony of words and letters and sounds playing across the room, and suddenly I blurted out, D-Y-I-N-G? Yes, she said. For a 7-year-old, that moment of joy and success has never gone. It's there and it still has a warm glow inside. Cut this to a grade 5 math class. It was a lazy, hot afternoon after lunch. She had set us some work to do and she was pacing the floor. And then she began generously using her knuckles on hapless student heads over careless calculation errors. That moment has never gone. Her temper, her rebukes. And it makes me reflect very deeply today about the power of a teacher over class well-being. Which brings me back to my idea. My only request was, can we try and push the learning and the thinking to make it upbeat and transformative? This is all I want you to do, teachers. Can we create one good question from a lesson? One good think and wonder question that can generate 100 different responses, but all correct, all valid. Who says we need to test the same way all the time? Nobody thinks the same way. Nobody processes learning the same way. So who says we can't throw that lesson open to a class and ask them what they think? And who says we can't applaud every opinion that comes up with its unique slant? I think there was a shockwave that ran across my middle school teachers. They looked at me and said, "Are you serious? I mean, what exactly are you looking for?" There was this teacher who said, "I've done this poem on peace and I don't feel very peaceful inside, Miss Indira." "Miss Indira, I can't do anything great with leaf venation," came another group. "Tell me what to do about the periodic table. What can I do that's creative there?" I think they were stunned. Here was me throwing open the canvas to them to paint in their own colors. And they were shocked at the freedom. They were used to a fixed template, perhaps. And they were treading new ground very tentatively. All I said to them was, look at this through the eyes of the child. Tease them, tickle them, make them catch their breath. Make them fall in love with your subject. You are the qualified brand ambassador for your subject. Who knows? One day, when they are taking away that Nobel Prize, they'll be thanking you for what you triggered in their middle school class. So the grade 7 team came to meet me about leaf venation, and we bounced ideas about how do we work a game into this lesson? How do we stir laughter and learning? Imagination, love of the subject, love of children. They hatched a brilliant plan. The teacher brought a whole lot of leaves and laid it out on her table. All colors, all shapes, all sizes. And she announced to the class, pick any leaf that you want from here that catches your eye. Stick it on your paper and look at it. I want you to look at it with new eyes and imagination. Study the form, study the shape. Look deeply. Is there anyone hiding inside that leaf? A bird, perhaps? An insect? I'd like you to try that example yourself. Pick up your sketch. Pick up that pencil. Draw around it, draw with it, draw alongside it, and pull out that personality that only you can see and we want to see too. The class was off in a flash. I think once they took ownership for the personality of that leaf, writing about the venation of that leaf was just nice and easy. And I always hope that at least a handful of those students who took that test stop by the next time they see a leaf, peer at it and say, who's hiding inside that? The grade 8 team began their brainstorming about the periodic table. Who says chemistry needs to test chemistry? Why can't we link it to personality, taste, and choice? And we had another lovely test, an open book test on the periodic table. This was the question thrown to them. You have a new car. You can design a new number plate. Read the periodic table and the elements. Identify the elements that you connect with, that describe you. Write them down. And then design your number plate with the elements that best reflect your personality. Tell us why. One-of-a-kind responses, learning objectives achieved, learning with wonder achieved. The grade 6 poem on peace took it to another level. They made it a group activity. Work in groups of 5, brainstorm together, write us a recipe for peace. What ingredients will go into that? How are you going to cook and serve it up? Wow, that was my first thought. Wow. A lifetime's emotional intelligence captured through an English poem, tested in 40 minutes, and definitely ensuring group collaborative memories that will last a lifetime. How has this gone down with the students? Yes, it's pushing them hard, but it's made them realize that there's more to learning than just the textbook. How did we push this idea in primary school during the sudden shutdown? I think we were very clear. We had just got 10 days. It was a new academic year. There was only prior learning that we could tap. We decided to develop a whole theme-based set of worksheets for each level that connected to their previous learning. We knew that we could build conversations in COVID times around the home, family, around the students themselves, around the kitchen, around the garden, and off we went. So for a grade 1, they had just come in from the pre-primary and we wanted to get to know them. We decided the first set of worksheets were going to be all about me. And in English, math, and environmental studies, it was all about information that we wanted to draw from the child. Best friend, best book. There was me with numbers. There was me and my timeline. We didn't let music and dance stop. We had Baby Shark, and we asked them to learn to dance that with their family members. We also had library and art put into it. And there was this delightful story of a chameleon that visits a zoo and wanted to be every animal he saw there, and then realized he was perfect as he was. We flipped that on its head, and we told the children, tell us one good thing you like about yourself. Write a few lines and tell us. I thought that was such a fabulous trajectory we'd gone from all the outside information to the soul of the child. We did the same with seasons and grade 3. In English, they played with riddles. In math, we pushed them to talk to family members and ask them which was their favorite season and do a survey pictograph. In computer science, we made them play with MS Paint and draw faces that represent each season. In French, we pushed them into research to look at a dictionary and learn new words that covered the season. I think the 2 weeks of closure whizzed by in great creative frenzy. The teachers enjoyed themselves, and I bet the students enjoyed themselves at home too. I think we've realized that the wonder, question, approach is here to stay. It gives us time for pause. In all that frenzy of a class routine, the wonder question gives time for pause. I would go as far as to say it is that wait time magic spell that brilliantly validates the teaching learning process. Suddenly the teacher receives an outpouring of responses that makes her catch her breath. She sees her child in an all-new perspective. Here is a sentient being telling her life story on the pages of that notebook. And as you can see, as these responses from a grade 1 child who worked with numbers and herself, each statement has a beautiful little story to tell. So the teacher catches fascinating, heartwarming insights that make her fall completely in love with her class. She knows each one of them is Nobel Prize worthy. Why do we need to continue with this practice? Because I believe that every child needs to be heard a lot more. Every child needs his or her work affirmed to them much more. And the wonder question approach can do just that. It's a simple idea. It brings the focus back to the child. I think it's made my teachers extremely happy and very proud at the body of work that they are building. It's made our students happier, and I think it's made their parents happiest. Thank you.